Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your monthly tarot reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well. So this is a general reading that would benefit any sun, moon, or rising Sagittarius sign. And hopefully something here will resonate with you. We can look to the cards to get a sense of the energies and insights from the universe, from divine source. And we're having a thunderstorm right now. So hopefully I won't lose power. Okay, so let me take a look at your cards here, and we will go from there. So we start off with the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands, we see this merchant or this well-dressed man who is standing out, looking over the horizon and the ships, and has his wands there, standing tall and holding on to one of them. And this is a card about expansion. This is a card about leadership. You are going to be thinking about perhaps changing things up and seeing where else you want to go, what other goals or accomplishments that you want to achieve. And that this may include physically moving. This may include travel. This may include looking for a new job, looking for a new relationship. But this signifies and signals that, you know, you're pretty happy probably with what you've accomplished to date. And now you're thinking, what am I going to do next? Where am I headed next? You know, what am I going to accomplish in the next few years? So this Three of Wands is about consideration and thinking about where am I headed? You know, where am I going? What am I going to do? And to be in this position to have that choice, you've clearly worked hard and you've clearly had some successes. And so this card is coming up because it's you might be questioning, gee, what's next for me? I see these ships out in the horizon, I see these new lands, and maybe I want a part of that. And maybe I want to leave whatever I have behind, or I'm in a good position now to be able to do so. So this card is about perhaps movement or travel, some type of change. It's your consideration of making things a little bit different in your game plan and how you approach. And then we have our Page of Cups. Let's see if I can get that. So the Page of Cups, we see this young, youthful page with a cup and a fish within the cup. And this is a card where we have youthful energy and enthusiasm and a great deal of sensitivity, because this is about cups and this is about emotions. And there's a light touch with this energy here. And pages could represent energy that you would benefit from, or it could be someone within your circle, some youthful person or, you know, family member, whatever it may be. But with this Page of Cups, and any page, you know, they're at the stage where they're wanting to know more, they're wanting to learn more, they're wanting to become more experienced. And that's their hope, and this is where they're starting out. So often we relate it to your desire to learn new things, or to be inspired to take a new path, to study. But this page is of sweetness and kindness and emotionally sensitive, so it's a good listener. The other thing with the Page of Cups is that it can often represent a message, or their messengers, and this could be a meeting someone that you would want to date, maybe that you'd want to be in a relationship with, but this card bodes well for that. It also bodes well for creativity. So if you're single, you might meet someone that you want to spend some time with, someone who's very gentle, a gentle spirit, sensitive, gentle spirit, or could lead to something more than that. So as we move through, we also have the Nine of Cups. In the Nine of Cups, we see our guy here. He's sitting in his chair, arms are crossed. Looks like he has a slight smile. Well, we see the 9 cups above here. This is a card about being content with what you have and the abundance that you have and being happy. You know, from what we can see, it appears that he seems relatively pleased with what he has, and he certainly is comfortable. He certainly has a lot of cups that are full. This card is historically known as a wish card or a dream card. So when it comes up in a reading, it's a sense of whatever you wish for will come true. So if you're hoping for a new opportunity, a new job and promotion or some travel, you know, with the 9 of Cups, that's going to come, it should come true. You know, this tells us that this is that what you're hoping for is going to appear. If you are hoping for a relationship, with the Page of Cups here, just keep your eyes open. You never know who's around, and if you're in a relationship, it bodes well for being a happy relationship, for being fulfilling. This is a card of being full and of enjoying your comforts and enjoying the things that you've earned. The only thing to be mindful of is that you have to appreciate and understand your abundance and be sincere about it and be authentic about it. To be smug or to be boastful is really the other side of this card. It's just something to guard against, you know, of tossing it in other people's faces, perhaps. You know, that would be not the nice thing to do. So this is really about being appreciative for what you have and hopefully finding contentment in what you have, and just understanding that not always does fulfillment come from just having things. Fulfillment comes from spiritual wholeness as well, and spiritual abundance. So a dream card, so dreams should come true. So then we have the Tower. And the Tower card is such an amazing illustration. Let's see if I can get it in focus. And we can see the people falling out of the tower, the lightning bolt striking, and it is what it is. It is a foundation that is crumbling or changing, or a randomness of event that is upsetting. And so often we can look to this card with words such as transformation. Well, you know, in life sometimes things end, and they end rather abruptly, or they end shockingly. And it makes you think, oh my goodness, wow, wasn't expecting that. So in August, this could be happening for you. Here's the takeaway for the Tower, which is often these are things that should happen or need to happen for you to continue to grow and for you to continue to move on your spiritual path. So if you've been in a relationship that has not been that fulfilling, or you haven't had that much happiness, and maybe your mate just says, hey, I'm out of here, I want to break it off, and you maybe knew it deep down, but you hadn't articulated it, or it hadn't been said. And so the shock, you know, it really takes you aback, and it's like upsetting. Well, ultimately, it's probably the right thing, you know, sometimes for things to end so that you can clear them away and so that you can rebuild a firmer foundation, or a foundation that satisfies you. So often people get scared or upset when they see the tower, because it can be a random change of events. And, you know, this is part of the life experience, and this is a part of how days go by in a lifetime, where shocking things happen or things you don't anticipate occur, and it upsets the status quo or the way that you've been living. But, you know, the only thing constant is change, is a very famous saying, and it's true. And, you know, change can be a good thing. And so if something like this happens to you, then try to look at it through a positive lens and try to think about how you can make a better foundation, create a more powerful and more beautiful tower that serves your purposes, that is going to fulfill your heart's desire. So we also have the Seven of Swords. And we see this guy. Let's see if I can get it in focus. Focus, focus, focus. There we go. So this guy is walking away from base camp with the swords. And he's got 5 swords in his hand, and he's got 2 swords in the ground. He's clearly making off with exactly what he needs. So there are a couple ways to think about this card. One way is to think about, you know, I'm ready to move out on my own, and maybe I have my own business. I want to be start my own practice, and I'm going to just take the clients that I need and take just the bare minimum for me to get started. Let's see if I can get this in focus. And so I'm going off on my own. That's certainly a positive interpretation of this card. Often, however, this card is thought about deception and about this guy sneaking off, and he's kind of taking these things without knowledge of others. So he's a little bit shady. So how does this relate to you? Well, this might be something that you just need to be mindful that maybe someone's not being honest with you in discussions or in work, or is being deceptive, and could even be white lies, maybe to protect your feelings. But this is a sense of, you're either choosing to go off on your own, to be your own person, to take what you need to start anew, or someone behind the scenes is messing around with the truth, or is being deceptive. Could be a relationship, could be a family situation, it could be a work situation, because, you know, this happens all the time. This could represent someone speaking poorly or gossiping within an office situation. So this is just something for you to be aware of and to be thinking about, is to be mindful of conversations and perhaps be a little more of having your antenna up in terms of how people are talking to you and what they're telling you. And maybe you just have to be a little more suspect for some. So then we have a beautiful card, and this beautiful card is the Magician. And the Magician, we see the Magician standing before a table with all of the elements, the sword, cups, pentacle, and a wand. He's got the infinity symbol up above his head, and he's pointing up and below, so it's as above as below. And so what does this mean? It means that we are given the ability to create, and we are given the ability to make magic in our life. You are a magician. You have the ability to create the life that you desire and that you hope for. And you have everything you need, but it's a matter of you taking steps and making a plan and taking action and to putting those dreams and hopes and desires into play. So with the Magician, it's about manifesting, and it's about creativity, and it's about taking your ideas and turning them into something. And so with the Magician, it's it's the recognition that you have to have faith and confidence in yourself. And so when we see the Magician, it's telling us, and it's coming through, that you do have the faith and the confidence to create, to manifest, to withstand changes within your structure, to make informed choices, to handle whatever situations might be happening behind the scenes. But this Magician is a powerful card because it's your own power. It's the faith that you have that the universe is going to point you into the right direction for you to be able to create and manifest a worthy life. So don't sit and just dream it. Put on your walking shoes, get out your pen and paper, and start writing and start thinking about how you're going to make it happen. And again, Tower signifies changes. Maybe this tower is relating to employment or to following your life purpose. For any folks that watch Gary Vaynerchuk on YouTube, who's an inspirational entrepreneur, he would be the first to say, get out there and do it. And whatever age you are, don't leave it behind. It's never too late to really find the seed, find the passion, and to make things happen. Okay, so let's continue on. We have the Page of Pentacles, more youthful energy. This page is a little different than our Page of Cups because this page is standing and he is looking and observing that pentacle and watching it carefully. This is about taking your time and enacting a grounded and practical approach to whatever you are cooking up. So if you are thinking about career changes, or if you're thinking about relationships, if you are dealing with sudden change, the Page of Pentacles is telling you to stop and maybe to study the situation, to take your time before you jump in and make any decisions. And it's really the Pentacles are about practicality, groundedness, common sense. So listen to the page's attributes of using your common sense and again, pages are enthusiastic and desire to become more experienced. So just from a very basic standpoint, this is put your practical pants on, get out your pen and pencil, and make that plan. Think about how you can improve your security, your finances, your home. And that's what Pentacles relate to. And, this is it's a solid, grounded card within your reading. That certainly a good tool to have in your toolkit as you move through the changes and as you are becoming more creative and more mindful of your passions and what you want to do. And then we have, let me hold this here, we have the Empress card. And the Empress, we see our Empress sitting outside in nature with lots of abundance, lots of beautiful plants and trees and water. And she's kind of hanging out. She is really the supreme mother of Earth, and she represents femininity and fertility. And most importantly, she represents creativity, which is to take the seeds that you have in your heart and in your head that might have been lingering there for years, and to take them out and to make them come alive. It's really, when we're saying that fertility, the Empress gives birth not only to children, but gives birth to ideas. So she is respectful and loves nature and is appreciative of abundance. And this could be as simple as go out in nature and think about your plan. Take a walk around the block and formulate and think about how you want to manifest your future. This is also a case where the Empress is very loving energy, and there's a nurturing sense. So perhaps you will be the one nurturing someone else who could benefit from some kind words and some gentle actions. or maybe you'll be receiving that. There could be an empress within your midst, of someone who is around you that has this beautiful, loving, calm energy of femininity and of appreciation of nature and of life and of our resources on earth. So she's right there for creativity. So, take that and be creative. And let me just take a look here to see what else we have in the cards. And really what strikes me is the making future choices for you of what you want to accomplish, the opportunity for emotional experiences, either dating or improvement within a relationship, possibility of dreams coming true, whatever you're hoping for, something changing in your life. But when this sudden change happens, we clear it out and we start fresh. It gives us a clean slate to rebuild and to create a better foundation. I've got some interesting pieces of whether it's moving out solo on your own and just kind of taking the shirt on your back and rolling out of there, or someone is behind the scenes mucking things up, or has some trust issues perhaps. And we have the Magician, manifesting, creating a plan, creating an action to bring your hopes, your enthusiasms, your passions into play. And then the Page of Pentacles, planning for this, taking your time and really using some common sense as you're working all of this together. And then the Empress is another indication of creativity, giving birth to ideas and appreciating the abundance and probably the talents and the skills and everything that you have right now. So I would like to pull an oracle card for love, and we'll get a sense of any more information for love. Respect. You value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. See if I can get it without glare. So, fundamental of life is to treat people with respect, to treat people as they want to be treated. And when you're able to do that, it'll come back to you in return. And so that's really such an important piece of information to think about, because you have to, respect yourself too. And you have to have that self-respect. And then when you are kind and generous and thoughtful to others and respect ideas and differences, then people will, hopefully for the most part, return that respect to you. So with terms of love in your life, continue on with feeling the respect for yourself, the respect for Earth, the respect for others, and the respect for your partner. Or if you're dating someone, it never hurts to make sure that they know how much you respect them. And then finally, I'd like to pull just an abundance card from Dorian Virtue. We'll just get a sense of maybe something, an action to practice or another focus. And this is savings. So it's about self-care and saving for the future. Let me not cover that up. So the savings, sometimes it's hard within this current economy to be in a position to save. And you might feel as if you're just holding your head above water. And you're like, yeah, I'm not in a position to save. And I understand that can be really true, but perhaps there's something that you're not using that you could sell on eBay or you could sell on Craigslist, where you could make a little extra money and then you could just put it in the bank. So often that's some folks go to Goodwill and look for some things and then are able to sell them to make a little extra money, and that could go straight into savings. Perhaps you have an opportunity to do some extra work. and could garner some income that could go into a savings account. But, you know, to save and to pay yourself first are typically good practices. And, you know, the expression save for a rainy day, that emergencies happen, and sometimes it's nice to have that peace of mind. But, you know, we do live in, people are struggling, and it may be challenging to save at this point, but as long as you're aware of that, and hopefully at some point within the year, or, you know, the month, that you're going to have an opportunity to save, and any amount is good. Any amount of money is good to save. If you're at your employment where you have the opportunity for like a plan where you can do some of your paycheck into it, and then you benefit tax-wise, you know, just do a little bit. Do what you can afford. It does add up after a while. So try to build a little nest egg for yourself. I think it'll give you some peace of mind and give you some a path forward for you of perhaps creating more freedom to do the things that you want to do. So I hope that you found this reading helpful and that something resonated for you within it. If you did enjoy this reading, please like, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe.